Hello everybody and welcome back. And right now let us add a function that will allow us to check if our script is actually being run with the administrative privileges or with the simple user privileges. Now this can be useful in order for you to know what your available options are. We will code in our reverse shell a simple one-letter command, or one-word command, which will just be, for example, check for the check privileges, and we should be prompted back whether the user that we are currently running the script as is an administrator or not. Now I have written a simple script right here in Notepad. This simple script right here, first of all, it imports the OS library. It has a function called the hasAdmin. Now you can call it anything you want. Basically what this function does is it will check if the admin, if the user that is running this script is having the administrator privileges, or if the script itself is having the administrator privileges. How it does that? Basically we first of all create a global variable called admin, and then we try something that will actually check if the user is administrator. Now that something is basically accessing the temp directory in Windows. Now you might be asking, why are we actually accessing the temp directory? Well, basically in Windows, once you actually access the temp directory, that means you have administrative privileges, since simple users can't really access this directory. So what we perform right here is the check of that directory if we can access it. In case we can't, as we can see right here, except the admin variable will be set to false. In other case, where we actually can access it, the admin variable will be set to true. So now then we actually run the function once the user of our server actually executes check command, then the function will perform the check right here, and also we need to set the if administrator equals to true. Then we will send back to our server administrative privileges. If it is not true, we will send user privileges, so that the user of the server actually knows whether the shell is on the user or administrator account. So let us implement this in our program, but before we do that, let me actually show you how this works in a simple command prompt. So we open a command prompt as the user, then we go to the desktop where I saved this script, and I will just Python this script, so check.py. What I get back is user privileges. So it went through this code, it ran this function, it noticed that with the user privileges it cannot access this directory, which is the temp directory, and then it set the admin to false. Then this loop right here checked if admin is true. Since it wasn't true, it printed out user privileges. But right now, if we go and run the command prompt as the administrator, so right click right here, then run as the administrator, click here yes. Then if we go to the same directory, let me just find the script that I saved, so users, then the account name, then the desktop, and then I Python this program once again. We can see that right now it says administrator privileges. So this program works. All we have to do right now is implement it in our reverse shell and in our server. So let us do that. So let me open this like this, put it to the side, let me nano the reverse shell.py. We can see everything here we already have set as in the previous video. We can see all of our functions that we already coded, and let's right here code the function isAdmin. Now whether you call it has or isAdmin, it doesn't really matter. You can call it anything you want, as I said, and right now all we want to do is just basically copy this program right here. So global admin is our variable. Then what we'll do is we will try to perform the check of that directory. So OS is the library that we will use for this. We already used, for example, this part right here. Whoops. Let me just open this type of brackets, and this part os.environ we already used before. So this is a little bit of a bigger command. That's why I am copying it from here. So C / and then Windows. We close the apostrophe, we close the brackets, then comma, and then open apostrophe, temp, close the apostrophe. then closed square brackets, and then closed two normal brackets. So we can move this so we can see the entire actual command, and here we perform the check of the directory. If it can't go to the directory, we set the admin to be false. If it can, we will do that with else. Admin will be set to true. So let us do it like this, to true. So now let's enlarge this. We do not need to see the rest of the code. Right now all we have to do is go to our while true loop, basically the shell loop, and let us go all the way down here, and let's actually perform another else if statement. So else if command, and then first, for example, 5 letters, since that is how much check has, equals to check. Then we added the 2 dots right here. We will actually try to execute the isAdmin. So isAdmin, I believe that is how we called it. Let me just check it out. We execute the isAdmin function, and what we want to send is basically, or we actually want to send back the admin variable, but right here we will not name it false and true. We can just name it something like this: admin equals user privileges, and here admin will equal administrator privileges. So we set the admin variable to be a string, and right now we will send this string to our server. So let us go down here. So try isAdmin, and then reliable send admin, which is our global variable, except, so if in any other case this doesn't work, we, for example, can't check or perform this program, we want to send to the server a string that will say can't perform the check. So this is basically it for the reverse shell. Now let us see if we have to code anything in our server side of the code in order for this to work properly. So Control O to save this, Control X to exit, and let us nano the server.py. So let us see what will happen once we send the check command. So check, we send that, it performs all of it as before, and then we get the result back, and then we print the result. So I don't think we have to add anything right here. We can just compile the shell. So let us go right here. We have the reverse shell right here. Let us compile it with our ICO file and also with our image. So Python 27 scripts PyInstaller .exe. We add the data. So --add -data, and then we specify the path to our image, which is root Python programs reverse and then dragon file right here. So also add right here the dot and comma and then dot. After that we want to add one file option, so one file, then no console, and also the icon which is in root downloads and then dragon wallpaper chinese.ico, or basically any icon that you used. We also want to specify the name of our shell, so reverse shell.py, and let us actually compile this into our program. Now remember that the reason why our image didn't open in the previous videos is actually because we forgot to specify the slash in front of our path with our image. Now I will show you what I mean in a second if you missed it. So .py. In order for image to open properly after we run the program, you need to have this slash right here. So without this slash it will not work, so make sure to have this slash once again. Then now let us actually use our USB. So I will plug it in. I will go to my this directory and I will move the reverse shell.exe into media, root, and then Kali Live. Then I will go one directory back and I will run my server in order to listen for the incoming connections. So let us unplug this USB drive. let me check if we deleted the previous backdoor. So let me just enlarge this there. So we need to delete this backdoor.exe, and right now we should be good to go. Let us paste this on the desktop right here, and let us actually run the program. Right now it should open the picture, as we can see right here. All works properly, and then in a few seconds we should be getting the shell back. Then we will run our check function in order to see if we are administrator or in order to see if we are user. So shell is here. Let us see if normal commands work. So ipconfig works, whoami works, arpmansa works, and right now let us type here check. What we get back is the user privileges. So right now we know that the user that ran our shell is an actual user account and not administrator account. Now let us close this. Let us make it just a little bit prettier before we end this video. Let me remove all the necessary files, or pardon me, all the unnecessary files. And let's make this string a little bit prettier. So admin, and then let's add a plus, or pardon me, let's add a exclamation mark right here, user privileges, and here let's add the plus for the administrator privileges. So it looks just a little bit prettier. We can save this, and right now if you were to run this reverse shell as an administrator, you would get prompted back the administrator privileges after that command. So that would be about it for this video, where we checked out if we were user or the administrator account. We will make a help command in the next video. Basically what we will do is we will code a help command. When someone that is using our server actually types help, they get prompted all the available options currently that we have coded in our reverse shell. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye!